A woman has won a landmark legal battle after a 5-year campaign to bring to justice a man who'd filmed her naked while she was sleeping without her consent. In 2015, Emily Hunt went out for lunch with her family, but the next thing she remembers is waking up naked next to a man she'd never met before. The Crown Prosecution Service had refused to prosecute Christopher Killick on 6 occasions, saying because they were in a room together, there was implied consent. But earlier this year, he finally admitted the crime of voyeurism and today was given 30 months community service, a fine, and ordered to pay Ms Hunt £5,000 in compensation. Our Social Affairs Correspondent Michael Buchanan has been speaking to Emily about her ordeal and a warning. His report begins with details some viewers may find distressing.
What happened to me had nothing to do with me. This man decided to prey on my vulnerability. This whole thing nearly killed me.
The impact of being abused by a man that Emily Hunt didn't know was compounded by the failure of prosecutors to charge him with any crime. She even attempted suicide.
My attacker belonged in a courtroom 5 years ago. The fact that it has taken this long, with this much fight and this much help from the British public, is completely unacceptable.
It was back in 2015 that Emily Hunt woke up in this hotel, not knowing how she got here. She believes someone drugged her and is disappointed in a police investigation that failed to uncover what happened. What's not in doubt is that a man she'd previously never met was in her bedroom and filmed a 62-second video of her, naked and asleep, for his own sexual gratification. Today, Christopher Killick was placed on the sex offenders register for 5 years and given a 2.5-year community order for taking the video. It took the Crown Prosecution Service 5 years to charge him, telling Emily on 6 separate occasions that he hadn't committed a crime, as she had no right to privacy in the hotel bedroom.
The CPS has behaved in what can only be called an appalling manner. Clearly, somebody made a decision early on that I was not a worthy or a righteous victim, and they have spent the last 5 years insisting that that's true.
The mother of one was forced to waive her right to anonymity and crowdfund a judicial review of the CPS's refusal to act. In January, the Court of Appeal clarified the law that taking an intimate video without consent was illegal.
I hope that for other victims of voyeurism, they will now feel able to come forward to the police if they are illicitly filmed, whether by a partner, by a stranger, by anyone they meet in an intimate context, and know that the police and the Crown Prosecution Service will take their complaint forward.
The Crown Prosecution Service say they recognise the delays in pursuing the case had a lasting impact on Emily Hunt, but that such digital sex crimes were a complex area of law. Her determination is now paving the way for other victims.
There are at least 2 cases where somebody was taking this seriously from the beginning and treating a victim like a victim because of what I did, and that's the win. This isn't about vengeance, it's about justice and making sure that people have access to justice without having to fight for it.
Michael Buchanan, BBC News, East London.